So let's talk about Fiji. It has this incredibly fascinating and complex legal world where two completely different justice systems are running at the exact same time. On one hand, you have modern state courts, and on the other, a traditional system of custom that's woven into the very fabric of society. And as we'll see, these two worlds don't just exist side by side. They often collide.
Okay, let's kick things off with this number, 47%. Get this. That's the percentage of people in Fiji who run into a serious legal problem in just a 4-year window. We're talking almost 1 out of every 2 people. And that just raises a huge question, right? In a place with 2 totally different paths to justice, where do you even begin, and what does that journey actually look like?
Now this right here gets to the absolute heart of why this dual system is so powerful. A whopping 91% of all land in Fiji is customary land. It's held by indigenous family groups called Matakali. And that's not just some random statistic. It means for most disputes about land, and that's a huge source of conflict, the regular court system isn't the main player. Tradition is.
All right, so let's dive into that first world of justice, the path of custom. I want you to forget everything you think you know about lawyers and judges and courtrooms. This system is built on a totally different idea, one that's all about keeping the community together, about harmony and family ties.
The thinking here is just fundamentally different from what many of us are used to. The goal isn't to find a winner and a loser or to punish someone. It's about healing a wound in the community. When someone does something wrong, it's seen as a problem for the whole group, so the entire family or clan often shares the responsibility of making things right. The end game is simple. Make sure everyone can still live together in peace.
So how does this play out in real life? Well, imagine you have a problem with your neighbor in a village. You're not calling a lawyer. Your first stop is the Taragani Koro, the village headman, who tries to mediate. If that doesn't sort it out, you escalate up the chain to the chiefs and the council of elders. This is where you might have a talanoa, which is this amazing, inclusive dialogue where people share stories to find a solution. And it can all lead to a bulu-bulu, which is a very serious, formal ceremony of apology and forgiveness to truly fix the broken relationship.
And to really get how deep this process goes, look at this. The highest way to settle a major dispute isn't with money. It's by presenting a tabua, a sperm whale's tooth. I mean, think about that. This isn't just a payment. It's a sacred, incredibly valuable item. Giving a tabua is a sign of a profound apology. It means the social order has been restored and the conflict is officially over.
Okay, so that's one world. Now, let's completely switch gears and look at the other system operating right alongside it, the path of law. This is the official state system, mostly inherited from the British, and its foundation isn't community harmony. Nope, it's all about individual rights and following proper legal procedures.
And this is going to look way more familiar to a lot of us. You've got a clear court hierarchy, right? You start at the magistrates' courts and can go all the way up to the Supreme Courts. And it has the institutions you'd expect, like a legal aid commission to help people access justice, and even a formal Fiji mediation center for alternative dispute resolution.
So you have these two powerful systems running on parallel tracks. But what happens when those tracks cross? Well, that's when things get really interesting and really challenging. This is the heart of the matter, the friction points where these two worlds collide, and often with very serious consequences.
This just lays out the core conflict so clearly. On one side, you have a system that's all about restoring the group and keeping the peace. On the other, a system designed to protect you, the individual, and enforce your legal rights. This is way more than just a difference in procedure. It's a clash of worldviews. And for the people caught in the middle, it creates some really tough dilemmas.
And nowhere is this clash more stark than in cases of domestic violence. As this judge so powerfully put it, the cultural pressure to reconcile can force a victim to forgive an abuser, all in the name of community harmony. But the formal law says, no way. The domestic violence decree was specifically designed to protect the individual victim and hold the offender accountable. It basically makes these crimes legally non-reconcilable through custom.
And here is another major friction point, and this one's a real head-scratcher. There's a body called the Native Lands Commission that handles disputes over all that customary land. But here's the kicker. Its decisions are legally final. You can't appeal them in the regular courts. So the very system set up to manage indigenous land rights actually denies indigenous Fijians the basic right to appeal that every other citizen has. It's a stunning paradox.
So with all this complexity, what's the takeaway? What do you actually do? Well, for anyone working in or with Fiji, whether you're in business or diplomacy, you can't just pick a side or ignore one system. You have to figure out how to navigate both. So let's talk about how you might actually bridge that divide.
This table breaks it down perfectly, especially for something like mediation.
In the West, a mediator is a neutral facilitator, right? In Fiji, a mediator is often an authority figure, a respected guardian of tradition. The communication style is totally different, too. It's indirect, it's about relationships, not just a direct, fact-driven argument. And the desired outcome? It's not a signed legal contract. It's a restored relationship.
So what does this mean? It means that if you go in with a standard Western playbook, you're almost guaranteed to fail. You have to adapt. You have to spend a lot of time just on relational talk, building trust before you even touch the actual problem. You have to prioritize preserving face, making sure no one is shamed publicly. And things like private sessions become crucial because they let people speak more directly without causing public disrespect. It's all about creating a hybrid approach that actually works.
And that really brings us to the bottom line of this entire report. Understanding this incredibly complex, dual system, that's not some soft skill or a nice-to-have. For anyone engaging with Fiji, cultural awareness is an absolutely fundamental, non-negotiable requirement to do your job effectively, ethically, and without accidentally causing even more problems.
So we're left with this really profound question, aren't we? In a world where both the good of the community and the rights of the individual matter, can you truly have both? Can communal harmony and individual human rights really coexist? Fiji is right in the middle of trying to figure that out, and its search for that delicate balance is a journey that, frankly, holds lessons for all of us.